It doesn't take much to see that whose waterways are holding and who's got big gullies down the hill and all of that. And most landowners are pretty in tune with that and don't want to see their land have those kinds of things happening. We started doing cover crops on that land, and the first couple of years we were doing that, and the owner said, "Why is those fields so green? And what are you guys doing out there?" And it's like, "Yeah, we're doing the cover crops and stuff." She just loves it.
I have talked the land manager into doing some conservation work as far as tile and terraces. And my neighbor and I actually own a tiling machine, so they did pay for the tile, and we have dozers, and so I actually built the terrace myself.
The landlord, I told him, I said, "Now I'm 100% no-till," and he didn't know about that, but he said, "Well, that's your deal." I said, "Okay." And the first year I farmed it, we had a 5-inch rain overnight, and there just wasn't any erosion. And after that, he was a real believer in no-till.
Most of the ground that I rent is cash rented, and I've had conversations with the landowners on it. They're not particularly interested whether I use cover crops or whether I don't, but after I've done it for a couple of years, they really like it. They see the results of it.
I just do it because it's the right thing to do. It makes the soil healthier. You got to have microbes. Microbes got to have something to eat on all the time. It's so if you plow it under and make it black, they lose their food source.
You have to start out very, very slow, show them examples, explain thoroughly why it's important and how it helps build soil health and soil quality.
Most landowners want their ground taken care of, so if you're farming somebody's land and you just tell them, "Hey, this is what we've been doing on our ground, and we're seeing good results from it, we're keeping the ground in place, and just start that conversation." And most are pretty willing to go along with that.
It takes a while to become a believer, but it takes 4 to 5 years, once you start no-tilling to see some benefits, some real benefits other than the erosion part, and that's right off the bat. I'm still trying to, after 3 years, I'm still trying to master cover crops. It's a challenge. I tried some, I added some red top turnips this year.
For this coming year, we've bought another corn planter, and it was set up with all precision planting and down pressure and row cleaning and the whole thing on it. And we're kind of excited to use that because I think one of the problems, even though we had adequate down pressure on our other planter, which we're going to keep for beans, that the depth wasn't as consistent as what it should be. And I think with this new planter, that's going to help.
Well, one of the changes we're making this year is we're adding a 2x2 fertilizer on our planter, and any of the ground that we rent, we have to be able to show that we're doing a good job and that our yields at least are as good as our neighbors' yields.
It was very interesting. I told my wife, I said, if this works, it'll amaze me. And my yields were just as good as everyone else's.